Okay, guys, welcome to the 13th week of our web volume contest. There are a total of 14 complete weeks, I believe, for this contest. And so for this week, what we're going to do is focus on two case studies. I'm going to give you a different kind of a challenge of the week and then post that in our Facebook group as well. Now, that obviously won't be available in your packet because we're outside of the 12 lessons. So part of our goal for this contest was to take you through the 12-week action plan so that not only did you become familiar with it yourself and go through the exercises yourself, but you also learned exactly what would be covered in each chapter so you could go through this with your own team and your own organization in the future. So that was obviously one of our goals, and we've done that. We've completed 12 weeks of action plan lessons, which are great. I do want to remind everybody, though, that once you've completed the 12-week action plan, that doesn't mean that you can't go back and redo things. In fact, there were when we went through each of the lessons, they were strategically planned for the time that we were going to be going through each lesson, and then the case studies that were chosen because they were real life case studies that really illustrated that lesson. And so, if you go back to webvolumecontest.com and you click on webinars and support, you go back and rewatch some of those lessons and then rewatch some of those case studies with that kind of an open mind and say, okay, great. Well, this week was all about networking, and um, that's exactly what the case study illustrated. It will really open your mind so you stop thinking about it so like laterally. When you go through the lesson, you have to understand that that is the theory, and then you go out and you implement the lesson, and that's real life. And it's all about, it's just like anything. If you've ever gone to school for anything, you go and you learn from the books and you can get really smart and understand concepts, but it really isn't until you get into the real world and you apply those techniques that you've learned in school that you truly understand the concept, right? And I mean, I know that I went through that when I went to school for music education, right? I went and, I did really well in school, learned all about, music and education and psychology, all of the different things. But then that first day in the classroom was insane. It was completely different. And there's nothing about the classroom that any textbook or any professor can prepare you for. When you get into the classroom for the first time to teach your first class with real students, that all have their own minds and their own things going on. All of those things people can tell you about, but until you experience them, you don't really completely understand them. And so, if you went through any of these weekly lessons and maybe didn't have time or life got too busy for you to actually implement what you learned that week, it's a great idea to go back, re-listen to the lesson, and then really truly try to implement what you've learned, because only then will it really make sense to you on the level that you need it to make sense, so you can really experience the results that you're looking for. All right, so you can go back and review those sessions at any time by visiting webvolumecontest.com. And if you click on webinars and support, you'll be able to access them there. Please continue to report your results over the final 2 weeks. It's a great opportunity for you to try and close as many deals as possible. We're going to talk about the challenge of the week and how much I would really like for you to use that challenge of the week to help close some deals. But again, keep the timing of the year in mind. We're entering in the last final weeks of 2015, and many business owners are looking to make any advertising or other business decisions and business spending that they can make. Many organizations need to spend whatever budget they had allotted for certain things right away. If they don't spend their whole budget, a lot of times their budget will be actually cut and decreased because it shows their boards that they didn't need the budget after all. So just keep that in mind when you're going out there. I know that a lot of people that are in an employee mindset are in holiday mode and in slow mode, but a lot of business owners are actually in high gear right now. And you're a business owner. As a web center owner, as an unfranchised owner, you're a business owner and your clients are business owners. So this is prime time to do business. Keep that in mind. All right, so what we will do is we're going to skip these results first because it's going to be the next time for the next week. We're going to show the last 2 weeks together. And as a reminder, like I said, the 12 weeks are over. But if you go to webvolumecontest.com, you can go ahead and review those 12 weeks and the case studies, or go to mawc411.com /learnonline.html. The Learn Online page will give you the 12-week action plan playlist, and you'll be able to review that at any time on your own or with your team, but that does not have the case studies attached to them. All right, so let me just go ahead and look for Mr. Eric here. Okay, very good. Hold on one second. Eric, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, before I ask you some questions, I did want to just tell everybody who you are, if that's okay. Um, so
Mhm.
Eric Yu is one of our certified Web Center trainers. He is, I think he actually might be trilingual, but I know for a fact that he is bilingual. He speaks English and Cantonese, and he speaks Cantonese really well. He actually recorded all of the shopping annuity tutorials and assessment for us in Cantonese so that the Cantonese speaking community could have those videos. Such a huge help. Selfless. He does a lot for this program and for the company in general. Just as a goodwill thing. He's just a great guy. In addition to that, he's super successful. He's young and motivated. And I'll tell you what, when I first met Eric a few years ago, he was working overnight shifts in a hotel, hospitality, in hospitality in New York City. So if anybody has ever worked an overnight shift as their main job, you know how difficult that can be. So, he was, I think at the time, a coordinator and was working the overnights, had very little time because whatever time he did have, he was really just kind of trying to catch up and get his life, live his life in between those crazy work hours. Yet somehow, through doing the 90-day fast track and working with an incredible team out in Flushing, New York, obviously that's a really great team to be on with lots of great leadership and great business building resources. Through all of those things, and doing fast track after fast track after fast track, he was able to jump from coordinator all the way to professional coordinator in just about a year. So, really successful unfranchise owner, successful web center owner, and really awesome advocate for us to have in the field. If you know anybody that would want to be trained and would prefer, I know Eric does do Cantonese trainings as well, but great person to be trained from. He's lived this. He does every single contest, every single fast track. So we're not just talking about somebody that used to be great. Just like all of our other coaches, we're talking about someone that is currently great as well. He's out there doing this and making it happen. And one last thing I'll say about Eric is, there are times where, Eric is he's such a strong leader. And so a lot of people on his team will rely on him to help show plans, help with sponsoring, help with mentoring, help with making sure people are on the right track. And if you've ever been in that position, you understand that sometimes your own personal sponsoring or your own personal retail can kind of take a second seat or a back seat to your team that needs you at that time. The thing about Eric is, he's not the kind of guy that when that happens, he just says, "Oh, well, that's my excuse. That's why I'm not getting it done." Just like everybody, we're all human. That happens to all of us. It happens to me too, like 100% of the time. But the thing about Eric is, if you say, "That's fine, Eric, I totally understand. Go out and sell a couple more websites, and you need to sponsor one more person," he just does it. He goes out and he makes it happen. And to me, that is true leadership. So, Eric, thank you so much for your time tonight and for walking us through your client. Before I ask you some questions, I did want to go ahead and show a couple of screenshots that I took from their URL, if that's okay. Um,
Yes, absolutely.
is it My S Queen? Is that the proper way to say the business name?
Yes, or you can say my screen.
My Screen. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Mhm.
So you can see here that this is it looks like a lot of beauty products and very niche area. Is this in your area in New York?
It is in New York. Yes, in New York City.
Cool. I mean, it's a definite unique kind of a place with beauty, lifestyle, all kinds of stuff and brands and It's e-commerce enabled, so you can see here that they have all of their categories set up and their products and the pricing and all that other good stuff. So it looks like a really cool site. It looked really fun. And so I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to hearing about how you met them and what the process was like. So let's go ahead and start off by talking about that. How did you meet this candidate?
Oh, so that's actually it was kind of funny because I got this name by one of the referral, and I did not really need to talk to them much, and my current customer already talked to them about myself. So and then they just gave me a call, and then I talked to them, got their phone number, and then we just talk over the phone.
Okay, that's great. So you have a current customer that was happy with the service that you provided them that recommended you to this business owner.
Correct.
Very cool. Now, would you say that the current customer that gave you the referral, that you have stayed in touch with that current customer?
Oh yes, I do. I do communicate with them and see what they want to improve, and or sometimes I don't even talk about website. I just to say happy holiday, just to say hi.
Great. And by the way, guys, we did a whole lesson on that last week, and this is why. Because when you take the time to stay in touch with people, not only does it build a stronger relationship for yourself with that client, so they'll be loyal to you, but they'll also think of you first when their network is looking for their services. And it seems like that's exactly what happened here. So,
Cor-
I mean, the cool part about that too is if this customer is someone that recommended you to the current customer, my screen, then
Yes.
that's probably why they were so eager to hop on the phone with you. You didn't really have to worry about their objections or trying to sell them an appointment at all because they were already sold because of the referral.
Correct. Yes.
Very cool. All right. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And by the way, guys, that's why we say it all the time that building this business and building your web center business with referrals is so much more enjoyable than just going out there and trying to build everything from the ground up. It's because someone else has done the hardest part for you and, broken that barrier and built some trust and some rapport for you. So it makes a big difference. Um, Now, how did the appointment go once you got them to do an appointment? Did you do a 15-minute consultation with them? Prior to that, let us know a little bit about how the sales process went.
Yes, I definitely did. Since that is from a stranger market, and I did want to get to know more about their business. So it was a brand new business that started about 2 years ago. And when I first talked to them, I find out that at the time it's very hard for us to get together, but I did not want to wait. So I just simply asked them questions with our 15 minutes consultation form. So I pretty much did the 15 consultation over the phone, and then whatever answer that they gave me, I just put it on a piece of paper, and I just make the appointment like that.
Okay, awesome. That's how you got the appointment. Um, what were some of the questions or um, how did the appointment itself go? What were some of the questions that came up?
Um, they pretty much they just asked about the price before appointment, and then I said that I'm happy to set up the appointment with you, and we will have our web specialist to talk about the price. And during the appointment, I found out that they had a lot of question about if the website is really effective, and how is it going to benefit them. So their whole point is really not focusing on the features only, but the features behind it and how is it going to benefit this specific business.
Great. And I think that's actually a really interesting point that you make there. And I can tell you straight up that most business owners could care less about the actual features and that's what they care about the most is the benefit. How is it going to help their business? And that's the kind of
Yes.
stuff that they want to know.
hmm
So what do you think it was that ultimately made them decide to go ahead and buy the website?
To be honest with you, I think that is the relationship the most. And then, of course, MA Web Center web specialists help me to follow up. And then I personally follow up with them as well and see what's the concern. And then the next thing I find out is because they were new and they are young, and that's why they had a very limited capital to get started. So after I talked to them about their concern, and I just adjust a little bit about on the pricing, and also show them the value behind the features and also the web platform, and then they just decided to buy it.
That's
It's
awesome.
about 2 weeks after the appointments.
About 2 weeks of follow-up. That's really good
Yeah.
follow-up skills. That's what that is, especially with someone that's on a budget. Um, so how did they
Mhm.
design the website? Did they do it themselves or did they use the design center?
They did. They did choose on a basic design center, which is custom design package. And it's the only reason is because that they do not know much about web design, and I strongly suggest them to use these tools, and they just took it as
That's
a
great.
as a
So, but I
decision.
noticed also that they have e-commerce. Did they set up their product catalog using tech support then if they got the custom package?
Yes, they got the e-commerce, and they did not have much problem about putting items inside e-commerce. So we did have our web specialists, I mean, the tech support, and they just learned that pretty fast, and they
Yeah.
just input the product by themselves afterward.
The client that I'm gonna give a quick case study on tonight also said the same thing. They're like the first time getting in there took a little bit of time to get used to it, but then by the second time and the third time they were in there, it just was a lot easier. It's just kind of like learning a new application or a new website. You just kind of have to play with it for a little bit and then it feels normal. So
Yes,
great. Well, it's a great site. So did they purchase any additional products yet?
yes, they did.
Oh, cool.
It was actually after I would say about a year after they purchased the website, and then we started talking. They were talking about concerning about driving traffic inside to the website, and I said that that was the time that we just came out with all those new packages, with new products from MA Web Centers, and then I just talked to them, and I showed them the content rating, and also the Google Adwords, and
Cool.
that's how that worked. And after that, they also can see that from the statistic that the traffic went up
That's great. Now,
after
guys,
like 2 months later.
that's like actually that's really amazing to me because you said this was a young business and a young owner with a very limited budget, yet they did move forward in only 2 weeks of follow up to buy a website. They purchased a design package, even though they were trying to save money. They have got a great site, and then a year later, they're buying Google AdWords and content writing for you. What was your approach when you decided to follow up with them about the Google AdWords? How did you approach them about that?
Um, at first, they were just saying that driving in traffic, and then I said, to be honest with you, at that time, I was still pretty new about our new products. So I just make the appointment with not the appointment. I mean, I just call into tech support and get more information about that specific product first, and then once I know about that, I just talk to them about how this package is going to help them, and then the next thing they find out, everything is will be proven. That will be giving them a report, showing them every single week how many traffic that they get, and then what people actually go into specific page, so that it really give them a very clear solution, and see it really allows them to see what is missing and what is doing pretty good.
That's awesome. And the cool part about all of this right now, everybody, is, Eric, again, like Eric's the kind of guy that goes out and just does things. He doesn't wait for anything. So that's why he already has sales for the digital marketing products under his belt. Um, but now we even have sales support for digital marketing products. So going forward, if you have someone that you think would be a good candidate for Google or Facebook or social media or any of those other products, all you have to do is go to dmpdemo.com and schedule a sales appointment, and someone will do all of that for you. Did this prospect lead you to any additional prospects, either for the business or for other clients at this point?
This is a very funny question. At first, when I submit this case study, they did not give me any referral yet. But lately, I've been talking to them. they started asking me someone that is from other country. They said that they may need a website. They asked me how much we're going to charge them. And then, of course, next thing that I said, I would love to speak to them. If you don't mind to give them their phone number to me, I would love to contact with them and get more information, and then we will be able to work it out.
Wow, that's awesome. Really, really cool thing. So, um,
Exactly.
do you want to let us know also a little bit about what the website or the Google product or any of the MA Web Center's products that this client is using has done for their actual business? Their testimonial for their business?
Oh, they just said that if it's one thing that I would also learn by myself is Google AdWord is not something that will happen overnight,
Uh-huh.
and it's not sometimes it's not even happen like within one month. So that's why our company, such a really great company, that's saying we should suggest our customer to purchase that for 3 months, which they did. And first month they did not see much difference, and then second month, right now they do see that the traffic actually went up, and then they started having more sales. And right now they've just been thinking about, how are they going to change, more product that people are looking for. And then it's just, I think that if I didn't do this Google AdWord, maybe right now they just stay plateau with their whole entire business. So I think that this Google AdWord is just a smart tools for us to use.
Awesome. And then, so before we let you go, is there any other piece of advice that you want to give to the folks on the call tonight?
Yes, I would say, about a few months before, we couldn't make any appointments for our new products. But right now, just like what Sarah you mentioned, right now we can make appointment with our additional product. I think that that's just a really wonderful way for us to sell more products and also additional BV as well, and also additional profit, because back then I did not know much and I had to call into technical support. And then right now the company find out more people are actually looking for these products. So that's why we provide such a wonderful platform, allow us to use these tools. So I strongly recommend us to just like myself, I majored in hospitality when I was in college. So I do not know much about websites. So until right now, I am still using our web support and also our tech support. So I strongly recommend everyone just follow the system, and it's just easier for us to build, and it's the smart way to build it.
Awesome. Okay, Eric. Well, thank you so much. You're incredible. We really look up to you. We appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in Miami.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. So before we talk about the challenge of the week, I did want to give you a second case study tonight, just because, like I said, there's no lesson. So we'll talk about the next one. So this case study I shared at Northeast Regional Convention. I did want to share it with you guys here on the call tonight. The name of the business is Sunflower Yoga, and what you're seeing right now is the before picture. The before picture of this website was, I mean, as you can see here, it was done by the business owner, and it was done on WordPress. And so, she's a creative person. So, like, naturally, there's lots of cool little features throughout the website. But when you build a website on WordPress, there's a lot of challenges that come up with that. So, we asked her to write a little something, and she said, look, we used to have our website on WordPress. Our customers were constantly having trouble locating class schedules, rates, and other important information because as we wrote new blogs, it would just bury the class information. So we had a similar experience with our Facebook group. Lots of interaction, but not the same as having a website. Our new website is beautiful, and our customers love being able to find the info they need. They can also even register online. So what she means by that, guys, is that WordPress functions a lot like social media. When you post something, it's at the top, and then as you post more stuff, it pushes it to the bottom. And so you can see here, she's got an announcement about the grand opening weekend, and then recent posts and archives or whatever. But if I'm just like a new potential customer looking for the class schedule for Sunflower Yoga, it's hard to find it on this old website just because of the way that WordPress works. So on the new site, we strove to be able to have a cleaner design that still represented, who Meg is. Meg is a free spirit, a happy person. She loves what she does, loves yoga. Everything is bright, and she's just like a happy kindred spirit, right? And so she wanted that same feeling. She didn't want something that felt clinical or quote unquote overly professional. She wanted something that looked great and that still reflected who they were, but most importantly also functioned well for the people that she did business with. So she wanted people to find their classes and be able to just check out and register. Prior to this, she also subscribed to a system called MindBody, and MindBody was very it was very clunky to use. It was basically an online registration or an online class e-commerce system that she was spending quite a bit of money for on top of her other website stuff, on top of her emailing stuff. So not only did we give her a better looking website and a better functioning website, we also saved her some money because now she, all of her online bills are consolidated into, a lot less than what she was paying. So the new site is much more beautiful. I've shared this before, but you can see it's got a really pretty header, schedule, classes, register, announcements, new to yoga, workshops, come visit us, about us. So you can see, like, it's definitely cleaner, it's definitely more professional, but still her. The old registration looked like this, where you would click on something and hopefully be able to find it again later. The new registration looks like this. When you click on the schedule, you can very clearly see what the schedule looks like on any given day of the week. You can click to learn more about what that class means. So if I want to learn more about what Sunflower Flow Yoga All Levels is all about, then Sunflower Flow All Levels. This is what it's all about. If I want to learn about what the flexibility and strength class is all about, I can read a little bit about that. And then over here, I can view the schedule or just click on register. So it gives them many options. We also recognize that some people don't want to register online and they just want the schedule and they'd rather pay a drop in rate. So right here, we've got the print out the schedule and classes information as well. So you can print, read, or register online. And when you choose to register online, this is what it looks like. So she's got all of her classes, and she I mean, so cute. Like, all of the Zumba classes are every picture is a picture from her classes or of her. Like, that's her, right? Beautiful pictures. Zumba's in gold. All of the yoga classes have this blue on it. And so she made some really cool little thumbnails. She set these up as virtual products. And the reason she set them up as virtual products is because when people register, um, an email gets sent to the email that she has on file for this. And she just keeps a binder and class cards at the studio and allows everybody, she can just see and just check off how many classes were used. So, it's a good system. It's a system that's used at a lot of studios, and that's true for dance studios, music studios, yoga, fitness, karate. A lot of them follow that same kind of format as well, and so it works really well. Anyway, you can see that the site is obviously just more functional and more what she was looking for. And like I said, she's a very creative person, so she was able to verbalize the kind of thing she was looking for and get that end result that she wanted. Whereas before, she was able to visualize it and know what she wants. But when you're, a yoga teacher or a dance instructor or a dancer like Meg is, that can be, sometimes it's hard. It's just not what you do, right? It's like for me, like if someone asked me, how to bake macaroons, I can't bake anything. And I know what I want a macaroon to taste like. I know what kind of macaroons I like. I know which ones I would buy, but I can't bake them. It's all good. I still can like them and I can still know what I want. And that's how I think a lot of business owners tend to be, by the way. All right, so I'll just answer a couple of questions for you guys as well. I met this candidate but because I work at the dance studio that she owns. So Meg owns Nutmeg's Dance and Theater Company as well, which we're actually also currently doing another website for as well. So I've been teaching dance at her studio for gosh, like 8 years, and she's just such a she's such a giving person, but doesn't like to take anything from anybody. And so when you're first getting started, I think you probably just do a lot on your own to try and save money. But she finally came to us this summer and said, okay, like I know you guys specialize in this and you probably can help me. I think I'm ready to sit down. And it's just one of those things, like, I work part time at the studio. She's, gosh, one of my absolute best friends on earth. And I obviously, would do anything for her, but at the same time, I don't want to pressure her or compromise any of my relationship with her because I love her, right? And so I always mentioned that I'd be happy to help, but when she was ready, she let me know. And that I think is kind of important because most of my prospects are not my best friends, right? Most of my prospects are people that I have met in my community, and I've got rapport and I've got some sort of a relationship with them, but they're not my best friends. I think when you're prospecting with your close friends and your family, you have to actually keep that relationship in mind and just let them know you're not pressuring them because you're not. Your goal is to help them. And so if you want to help them, then the best thing you can do is wait for them to be ready and just let them know that you're there and remind them every once in a while that you're there to help when they're ready. That's it. And that's exactly what I did. And I did that for a while. And then, like I said, this summer, she finally said, okay, I'm ready to go. And I think the thing that changed for her was she owns the dance studio. It's got two big studios in it, and at the time we were teaching dance in the two studios and also yoga, booty bar, Zumba, and like other fitness type of classes as well. And there was clearly a need for her to expand and get a third studio and have it be a standalone sunflower yoga space, right? And so she made that decision to do that. And along with that decision, she said, "Okay, well, I need to get serious. It's a new space. It's extra overhead. It's extra um, you know, responsibility, and I need to do everything I can to get the word out there and to drive traffic and to, do what I need to do to be successful." And that's, I think, what ultimately inspired her to schedule an appointment was the realization that she needed to get people in the building. And so we were happy to do that. And we set up the appointment with her. Really, all we did was go through the 15-minute consultation and talk about what the goals of the new website would be. What is her current site doing that she loved? There was a couple of things that she absolutely loved. She loved that it was all their pictures, it was all their stuff. And, she's a great writer. She's a very talented, like, she's just good with words and all of those things. So she wanted to be involved in the writing, and she provided all of the text exactly how she wanted it. And so we had the site designed, and the process went very, very quickly because the 15-minute consult and because the communication was so good. She was able to have that website up and running in 2 weeks, and I think that's pretty aggressive. um, we weren't even pushing for that. It's just she was very specific about what needed to get done. And it might have been timing because typically a design package at a minimum will take 3 to 4 weeks. So there's always that. But um, we were able to get that up and running for her. So that was really great. I can tell you that in the very first week of the site being live, they cleared over $2,000 in online sales, which was huge. And it was definitely a nice moment for me as a friend to see her business website do so well so quickly and to say, see, like, look, this is really exactly, and it was great. She was like, wow, my rent is covered. I wasn't expecting that. That's the difference between having your website built to do business and just having an online presence. Like, those are two completely different things. And I think for sure that by having the website done correctly, that it made a tremendous impact. And I'm really proud of that, and I'm really happy that I was able to help my friend in her business that way. She has not purchased additional products yet because this account is from like September, so it's still a new baby account. However, because this is going so well, we are also redoing the Nutmeg's website as well, the dance studio, and that's exciting for me too. I love that studio. It's like my home away from home, and it's really fun to be involved in a project to help advertise like something that I also personally love so much. And I get like that about all of the places that I do business with. When I work on a site for my favorite restaurant, or like my friend's business, they own a lawn company. It feels great. Like it's a fun experience to be involved helping people that you've met or helping people that you know really well. And so I really, really appreciate that. All right, guys. So I did want to share a little bit about that with you guys just because it was, again, just I felt like having two case studies might be beneficial. So, okay. So with that being said, our challenge of the week is to participate again in the hashtag Love Local Biz contest. And so here's what we're going to do. You can participate in by doing the share version. So what you need to do is, this image is available everywhere. If you go to our MA Web Center's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or even our blog, you can find this exact image, right? That square image. What you need to do is post it on any of your social media accounts, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and tag a local business or local business owner, and just let them know that we are giving away digital marketing prizes on January 1st, 2016. So all you have to do is share the image, tag a local business or business owner, and use the hashtag #LoveLocalBiz. The only other thing that you need to do to be considered to win is you need to be following MA Web Centers on at least one of our social media platforms, meaning you have to be one of our fans on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. If you already are, then you don't have to do it again. It just lets you know that that's one of the requirements, is you have to be following us. So that is the challenge of the week. Share this and get it on your Facebook wall. The second part of the challenge is to use this contest as a follow-up tactic with one or more of your website prospects, because if anybody if any of your prospects buys anything from now through the end of 2015, they also get automatically entered to win the contest. So that's what you're going to do, is you're going to use that as a sales technique, as a closing technique. It's very simply put, I've got somebody on my list right now. I can pick up the phone and say, hey, what's up? It's just Sarah Rose. I was just calling to reach back out to you. Listen, I know that, we did the appointment. It went really well. You needed some time. I did want to let you know that we are running a giveaway right now. And if you do decide to close on your website by 2015, you're also going to be entered into our giveaway automatically, and we'll be giving away a year of social media, search engine optimization, and other cool design products to just people at random. So did want to let you know that that's in there in case that was interesting for you. And also, by the way, it doesn't hurt to have like an end of the year sale going on. Just offer to take $100 off, or offer to take 10% off, whatever you want to do. Just use this and other things to help follow up and close as many sales at the end of our web volume contest as you possibly can. This contest was designed to increase our following so we can continue to build rapport with our prospects and clients for you on your behalf, and also was designed to be a sales closing technique for you. So the challenge of the week is twofold. You just have to participate in the contest in one or two ways, either using the social media way or using it as follow-up, and you'll be automatically entered to win the $20shop.com gift card. Okay, so very quickly, we're going to go ahead and see who our winner is from the previous week. Copy the list, place them in, and our random name is Edmundo Casero Hernandez. Congratulations, Edmundo, and you're on the session tonight. You've won again. I know that I've seen you as a winner before, and we will be taking care of getting that gift card over to you. All right, guys, I hope it's been a great session for you. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next week. Take care.